man. Go on with it, go on with it.
Besties, do you have a second? Hey, friend.
Hey, best friend. Girl, what you doing?
Hey, the best squad. It's your girl, Ebony, the best. Guys, I have a few topics for us to go through, but before I get started, let me start by saying everything I'm about to say, it's all alleged, all in my opinion, and it's all for entertainment purposes that is covered by the copyright law fair use. But guys, let's get into these hot topics.
Do me a favor, don't talk to me.
So the best squad, I am not sure those of y'all who knows DD4L, Dancing Dolls. And y'all know Miss D because she was the highlight, okay, of this whole thing. Girl, I don't know what's going on with Kayla, and Cameron, but she's out here addressing them because they brought up some old scene that didn't need to be on this. I guess they're now showing it on some app. I don't know the name of the app, but they're showing it now. I guess they're all getting together, talking or whatever. You know, guess life now is what you want to call it. But baby, they made the mistake, okay, and brought up Miss D's name in an old incident that happened a decade ago. She ain't happy about it, and she's addressing it, so I'm going to post it right here. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Bye.
So it took me a minute to make this first video because I was trying to find a diplomatic approach to how I want to address certain things that have consistently come up. Now, I've sat quietly and I've allowed people to make videos and say things and do things, and I have not had a response because, truthfully, I am really so at peace with myself. I mind my own business, and if you follow me on live, I'm always saying I stay in my little hole, I mind my business, like I don't talk about people, I don't bother anybody, yet and still, I am the topic of conversation, and I am the constant person that's being brought up in context for your content. And I'm at a point to where I'm just tired. So I had to have a conversation, you know, with a couple of friends of mine. I had a conversation with my attorney this morning because I wanted to make sure that I take a consistent diplomatic approach to make sure that I am heard and to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm about to say. So last night, Encore had their season finale, and I want to be honest, I don't keep up with the show. I see the clips online. I have so many other things going on. If I decide to go back and watch, I just binge watch. I don't know how everybody else does it. But I got a text message from someone last night, and the text message was basically apologizing for what was said on the show. So now I'm like, what was said? Because I don't keep up with it. Remember, I just said that I do not watch it completely episode for episode. I said if I watch it, that I would be binge watching, right? So now this prompted me to go and watch to see, you know, exactly what was said. And to my surprise, I was extremely confused, concerned, and was just like, why the fuck are we talking about this? Okay, sorry. Why are we talking about this? Why are we still here? What relevance does this topic have on that show? Because if that show is about your life, your family, and everything else, why am I a topic? Why is anything about DD4L, Dancing Dolls, Bring It, me, like why is it even brought up? But since it's brought up, let's address it.
Because I worked so hard for this spot. This is my position. This is my time to shine. I worked 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years for this. And here I am for 3 pennies. And you get to leave a spot over my group.
Now listen, we've already been down the rabbit hole with this whole text message episode, and I kept quiet about that, but not anymore, because I'm going to talk about that too. But that's not the topic of this live. Let's stay focused.
Well, on Bring It made it a big thing, which I was there for. She made it a big thing, and it looked like y'all were bullying. But you weren't really bullying. You was really just sticking up for yourself because you've been here and she's a crowd. And y'all killing me with the...
So much to address there. But we're going to get to it. Trust me.
Kaya was saying, like, she wasn't mad at Princess about it. Like, she was mad at Miss Diana because Miss Diana has the control. She has the power. Of course, they put Princess in the front. What they gonna say? Yeah, they put Makai in the front. What they gonna say? It's nobody but Miss Diana, in my opinion. Child, Cameron flat out said, well, this is Miss Diana's fault. And I was like, yikes. Woo, I didn't think we was going to hit it like that, son. I didn't think we was going to go straight there. And then it's like, Miss Diana, let's be honest. You preach tradition all day, every day. She dropped the ball right there. And then you act like everybody is wrong for feeling how they feel. I feel like she don't want to admit that she did have a little bit more pull. And she kind of left it alone because it was like teenage drama. Yes, we were doing a TV show, but those were your girls there. They were there for you to protect. Okay.
So there's a lot to unpack there. And here is the thing. And I'm really tired of being the butt of everybody's jokes. I'm really tired of the blame being pushed around like we pushing a shopping cart through the damn Walmart. Baby, listen, let's be clear. Diana, Miss D, however you choose to address me, but respectfully, I should be called Miss Diana because I am an adult. However, let's get past all of that. At the end of the day, Lifetime television show is a network. Lifetime is a network, okay? A&E is a network. I have never controlled the production of Bring It today, tomorrow, or ever. It's not my show. I was a cast member and a paid participant on the same show that everybody else was on. It's unfortunate that I am still receiving blame and backlash from people that I stood 10 toes down behind. And what's even more unfortunate is that my character is consistently and continuously being attacked. People are saying things that I'm sorry, they're just not true. It's not true. The control that everybody thought I had, oh, I wish I had. Because if I had the control that I had, the tradition that everybody speaks so much of, it would have still been intact. Let's just be clear and let's be honest. Tradition flew out the window, just whoa, out the window, like I snatched off my wig at night. Flew out the window the day we all signed up for Bring It. Because everybody knows that Dancing Dolls is structured to do parades and parades only. We have never in the history of our organization ever competed like that. Ever. And everybody knows that, including y'all. Y'all know that. So if we're going to speak on tradition, let's do a deep dive and get off into it. Because there's a lot of things that tradition allowed a lot of people to be able to do, including positions of leadership. But we're going to get into these text message episodes, but I'm going to create a whole separate video that breaks that down because this video is just part one. But the tradition of Dancing Dolls has always been intact. But we got to understand and we got to make sure that we make it very, 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 very clear. And this is only part one because I'm going to keep this series going until I'm done talking about this. But I am tired of being accused of running a show that I had nothing to do with. I never wrote a script. I never wrote a beat sheet. I was never in a production meeting. I was never on a phone call creating scenes. I never knew what the left hand or the right hand was even doing. I was focused on keeping my head on a swivel and focused on myself. I am so tired of everybody just allowing themselves to push blame this way. And I have been so quiet and diplomatic. And I sit on a mountain of receipts and conversations where people knew that that was a produced scene. But we're going to get into that in a later video because I want to make sure that I stay focused. Ladies, with all due respect to me, that I deserve and that I've earned and that I worked for. This is my last time saying this. And I made a video, not a live, because I want this to stay posted on my page. You cannot blame me for a decision that I made because I'm not sorry. I do not apologize for handling that situation publicly because I was always taught that if you show your ass in public, you get dealt with in public. I was always taught too that the age of accountability in the Bible is 12. And regardless of whether or not you are a child, you knew better. So I handled it. Wait, it's a reality television show, right? That's our reality. Because in reality, traditionally, would I not get on y'all about y'all's attitudes? Would I not get on y'all about cursing and carrying on? We're going to get to that. Would I not get on y'all about your behavior? Kids or not, would I not get on y'all about those things? Would I not do that? Absolutely. To be honest, this whole scene had nothing to even do with your show. Encore. Had nothing to do with your show. It was irrelevant. This is a scene of something that just recently happened. So what was the point? Was it that you needed drama? And it's unfortunate because traditionally, we know that I don't deal with drama. I don't deal with mess. I don't deal with confusion. But it almost seems as if we're trying to pull Dancing Dolls back. We're trying to pull DD4L back. If y'all only knew the lengths that I went through to protect everyone on this team and the things that I've done to make sure that not only the girls were okay, but that the parents were okay, all while my feelings were discarded, all while I was flipped the bird, it would make your head explode. But we're going to get into that.
Here is part 2. Let's talk text messages. So you guys, I was going to leave this alone, but since it seems to still be a topic of conversation and it was brought up last night and I'm still officially being blamed for everything, let's get into this. All right, so we've already established in my last video that I didn't have pull, as it was said that I had pull. I didn't. It said that I had more say. I didn't. It said that I dropped the ball. I didn't. It said that at the end of the day, I could have changed different things and the tradition, blah, 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 all that's being thrown around. And the reality of the text message episode, it started from a completely different place. Let's get into that. So the initial whole conversation, the whole issue started from the episode that was focused and centered around HBCUs. Now, the whole purpose of me doing the whole HBCU episode anyway was because a lot of the girls were deciding that they wanted to go and attend different HBCUs. And the different HBCUs that were in question at the time were Jackson State, Alcorn State University, Grambling State University, as well as Southern University. And because I had girls that wanted to go to those schools, I knew people from those schools, some of my girls already attended those schools, I wanted to give the girls an opportunity to put together their own routines and pretend or even act out a situation where I'm now a part of this team. It's kind of like a mock or mimic or, fantasy, not really sure, but it was supposed to allude to like a graduation type of thing too, because they're getting ready to graduate from high school. I am the professor, you're graduating from Dancing Dolls University, and boom, you're going off to an HBCU. So as the episode proceeds, we start getting the choreography together, and I'm talking to production about what they want to do for that particular week. They asked me, what did I want to do? And I told them my idea, which is what I just told you. And they said, well, aren't at HBCUs there are normally captains? I was like, yeah, why? They said, well, we need to have a captain of every group. So, okay, I split the girls into the different groups based off of who was in positions of leadership. Now, mind you, Princess's storyline for the season is her coming from Memphis, Tennessee, from Prancing Tigerettes, and she is going to be supposedly mama's in the running for a captain's position for her daughter. Now, let me be clear with this too. Princess's mom, Miss Tanisha, has never ever had a conversation with me about her daughter being captain. I'm going to say that again for the folks in the back. Princess's mom, Miss Tanisha, has never ever spoken to me about her daughter wanting a captain's position with the Dancing Dolls. Never. We never had that conversation. Her mom and I were already friends and had built our own relationship before Bring It even started. Her mom and I already had a relationship years prior, and her mom and I had already been talking and discussing about Princess just as her being a Tigerette, not even about her being a dancing doll. A lot of people don't know, and I know that Jamar has made a video. Princess's mom has talked about this as well. Princess left the Prancing Tigerettes and came to Dancing Dolls, and they've already explained it over there, so I'm not going to get into it. But she never came to me saying, oh, I want to be on TV, because let's be clear. Princess was already on TV. She was the captain of the Prancing Tigerettes, and the Tigerettes were on the show. They were one of our biggest rivals. She was already on TV. So I didn't bring her in to replace her or bring her in and put her on a pedestal or bring her in and give her this position. It's not true. I never did that. Princess came simply because she was looking for what Dancing Dolls stands for. It stood for it then, and it still stands for it now. We are a sisterhood first, we are a family second, and we dance last. She was coming from a situation that wasn't the best for her at the time, and she wanted to be a part of Dancing Dolls. Now, we're going to talk about breaking tradition. Now, we can definitely say I broke tradition there, because you had to live within the area to be a part of the team. But because I knew the circumstances surrounding this situation, this baby didn't need for me to judge her. Her mom didn't need for me to create a terrible scenario for her to be able to be on the team. I was needed at the time. There was something needed, and I fulfilled a need. It was not my job or responsibility, nor was it anybody's business for me to share the details. This child wanted a place to dance, and I gave her one. Okay, so now as we're moving forward, we're proceeding, and now we're going along with it. Production says, well, since Princess's mom is talking about her wanting to be a captain, are you against putting her as one of the leaders of the team? Me personally, I was like, not really, because it really doesn't even matter. The girls already know what it is, because traditionally, the captains always are the ones that are out front or lead. Plus, nobody can just walk in here and be captain. So if she was put in a position to lead this particular group, she's not a captain, she's not in leadership, it shouldn't matter. So I thought. But I guess as time went on and I started to hear all of these videos progress, I see that nobody looked at it the way that I was looking at it. I'm looking at it from a place of, I mean, we know that it's not real. Traditionally, the girls all know that to be a captain, you cannot go from new girl to captain. It doesn't work that way. And also on top of that too, you cannot come into this team and just become a captain. You have to put in some work. You got to put some skin in the game, some sweat on these floors. And on top of that, it's a seniority thing. She didn't have seniority. So if they want to make her the leader of a group for a specific creative dance, she's not the leader of the team. To me personally, I didn't see the problem. So essentially, as time went on, the episode plays out, the girls go through all what they went through. Nobody said anything, during all of it. Like, nobody said anything during all of it. But unbeknownst to me, there was a sidebar conversation that was taking place. Now, I know about group chats and how group chats can get messy, which is why I'm not in group chats. Well, take that back. I'm in a group chat with my family, but my family's not messy. And I know how group chats can get messy. But it just so happens they made a mistake when it came to this particular group chat. Because in the group chat, there was a conversation that took place when it was placed in the group chat about what the girls had to do for that particular week. And inside of this group chat, that's when the girls, and I'm not going to say names, I do still have the text messages, by the way, but the girls decided that they were going to share how they felt about a decision that I made. There were lots of things said. Oh, I was called a bitch. I was called a stupid bitch. What the fuck is this bitch doing? It was all kind of things that were being said. There was a lot that was being said. And regardless of the fact that, you're talking about me, there were also things that were said about Princess, and she was in that group. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So I'm getting the messages later. Oh, wait, let me go back. Unfortunately, it's true. I get a phone call from Tanisha. I'm at home. She calls me and she is irate, screaming and yelling on the phone. I'm thinking somebody done got hurt or something done happened. She sends me this, she says, these girls in this group talk about my girl. What girls? Because see, I remember when Tanisha was talking about a prior incident that happened when her daughter was on Tiger Reds. Princess still allowed somebody to use her tablet. She reopened up her tablet. There was a conversation that was being had about Princess from the previous team. So I assumed that that's what she was talking about. But then when I realized, wait a minute, you're not talking about that. You're talking about the girls on the team right now? What group chat? Like, what are you talking about? That's when I realized something was up. So I told Tanisha to send me the messages, screenshot them, and send them to me. And she did just that. She sent me all of the messages, and she shared with me everything that was being said. Now, a lot of them, I didn't know whose numbers these were, because some of the numbers I didn't have saved in my phone at the time. So it took for me to go find out whose numbers they were, for me to be able to put two and two together to connect the dots. So now I know who's who and what's what. So, to be clear, it did happen. And yes, you guys were kids at the time. But you got to understand, the age of accountability in the Bible is 12. And if you want me to be accountable for me making this decision, you got to be accountable for the decisions that you all decided to make at that time as well. Are we mad about it right now? Hell no. Nobody even cares about that. But since it's constantly being brought up and it's constantly being talked about, this is why I'm here. Because see, what we're not going to do is blame Diana as if Diana should have handled it differently. No, because if you decided to publicly humiliate someone in a forum, you have to be publicly reprimanded for what it was that you did. There were a lot of people in the group that didn't say anything at all. But remember, I have all the text messages.
Baby be shining bright like a diamond, meditate daily, baby enlightened, baby make racks, baby spend cash, baby go get it and she don't gotta ask, baby gon' run it up like an athlete, plays gold at the track meet, at the stadium show going super hard, cause baby a superstar, just bought a crib out of lake, off of the grid and out of LA.